like changing syllabus, exam pattern, career guidance, parenting, pedagogy, coding classes, usage of technology, cybersecurity, general awareness program, and many more. We have conducted many hundreds of webinars with about 1 million participants in the last 3 years. The technology arm of Goel Brothers Prakashan, Bright Tutoring, provides online digital learning content for the K to 12 level in a variety of languages for more than 20 educational boards in all of the major subjects. Today, we have Dr. Alka Jha with us. We welcome you, ma'am. She's an author, editor, as well as having more than 32 years of experience in the industry. So we
Right.
welcome you, ma'am. Over to you. Thank
God
you.
bless. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vaishali, for introducing me with such lovely and such generous words.
You're most welcome, ma'am.
Yeah. Can we take over now?
Yes, it's all yours.
Great. Wonderful. All my friends are here, I believe. Yes. Okay. So today we are basically going to acquaint ourselves with the new setup that we have been introduced to in the last 1 year. There have been so many changes, and this is one of the many changes that we are once again going to face. The syllabus has been, as you can see over here, we are going to do ISC English Literature. ISC English Literature. That means today we are going to focus on the literature section that has been introduced and the abridged portion that has been introduced to us. So I hope all my friends across India, they should be, they have already been told, but this is more a kind of a recapitulation where I can assure them of the way our children should be made to prepare, the way we have to prepare them psychologically also, because they are going to see something different. This time it's not going to be MCQ. What we are going to talk about today is what is here, what is there in the second semester. What is there in the second semester? We've already had one, so we are completely going to forget it for the moment. The second semester, according to the bifurcated syllabus, that's what we are going to discuss today. The features and the pattern of the specimen paper that has been issued by the council, not only the features, but we will also provide you with a specimen answer also. So we have the answer sheet also, which we shall be introducing by and by. The next point is we are going to discuss the types of questions. This time the pattern is going to be very different from what we've been having over the years. So the types of questions that we are going to discuss, we are also going to discuss the features and most importantly, the finer details that should help our children to secure more and more marks. Because right now our focus should be on securing marks, on getting marks. So we are going to acquaint ourselves with that so that we can pass on the same thing to our children. Moving on to the next one, how do we as teachers help our students prepare for the upcoming second semester exams? And particularly today, I'm going to discuss over here literature. So these are the good basic things that we are going to discuss in the next 20, 25, 30 minutes that we have right now. Yes, as we all know, the council has split the syllabus into half for the academic year 2021-22. You can see over here. So I have very deliberately not put the first semester here, lest we should anyway get confused or a bit jittery about it. So I have very clearly put in right over here only the syllabus that is expected to be done in the second semester. Like we have the first one, as per the syllabus, as far as the drama is concerned, we have Act 4 and Act 5. I'm sure all my friends are aware of it. So Act 4 and Act 5, we have poems, only 2. So that should give us ample time to revise with our kids. The Dover Beach and We Are the Music Makers. These are the 2 poems we are going to basically deal with. The questions can come from both. So let our children not do any selective study as such. This should be my suggestion. And I suppose all our friends should harp on that aspect. Moving on to prose, we have the singing lesson. Yes, it's a little different as far as the prose is concerned. We have 3 here. The singing lesson, number 1, the sound machine, number 2, and of course we have B. Wordsworth. All in order, the singing lesson, we have the sound machine, and we have B. Wordsworth. These are the 3 prose pieces that are going to be included. That means 2 acts from Tempest, 2 poems, and 3 prose pieces altogether, making the syllabus really easy, but our children will have to work hard on them because the pattern of question is going to be different. Yes, so you can see in the the same thing is written over here. The name of the textbook is given. We have William Shakespeare, who will take there for Tempest. We have from Ecos, we have a collection of stories. We have Singing Lesson, we have Sound Machine, and we have Be Wordsworth. From poem, of course, Reverie has 2 poems. We have the Dover Beach and we have the Music Makers. Yes, the next one. I'm repeating it and reiterating it just in case there should be any confusion that should be done away with. Yes. Now we come to the second semester. We have to constantly keep telling our children this pattern is going to be very, very different from what they have done in the first semester. This time they are going to write the answers rather than just tick the answers. The time allowed will be as usual 1.5 hours. Instead of 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I constantly keep telling them it's just 90 minutes, 90 minutes. So if my friends also do the same, it should be nice because that equation works better when it is brought down to the minutes. The maximum marks is 40. Once again, 2 sections this time. We will have an MCQ here, but that is only for 8 marks. That is only for 8 marks, which will include all 3, which will include the drama, which will include the poem and the prose pieces as well. And of course, 32 marks we have subjective, wherein they will be expected to answer questions. The split marking, we will discuss about it after this in the next sheet. Section B is going to be a subjective session, wherein the children will be expected to answer 4 questions. Mark it, please insist and tell them very, very clearly. There are going to be 4 questions which they would be expected to answer. Each question has 2 subparts. Each question has 2 subparts and all the questions are compulsory. All the questions are compulsory. In previous years, they used to have options, but this year, all the questions are compulsory. So they have to make a proper equation between the time and the answers that they write. All 4 questions, that means altogether they will be expected to answer 4 into 2. That means a lot of practice, a lot of precision, and a lot of focused work they will have to do. I repeat, section B is going to be a subjective type with 4 questions, compulsory questions. Please repeat this thing over and over again to our children. There will be no option whatsoever. As far as the second semester specimen is concerned, once again, the compulsory word is very, very important because this time we will have no option in any case. Yes. We have the pattern of the specimen paper over here, which is very explicitly written. Question A, you can see the section A, it will consist of 8 questions, which I've already mentioned to you. 8 questions, which will be MCQ and all 8 questions compulsory. All 8 questions compulsory, no options at all. All questions are going to be compulsory and this section will carry 8 marks. 1 mark for every question. As they had done in the first semester, exactly the same way, they have to write the alphabet and eventually they can write the answer also as such, but writing the alphabet will be very, very important. Section B, this section is going to, as we have already discussed, there are 4 questions altogether. 2 questions will be from Tempest, mind it. There will be 2 questions from Tempest, 4 plus 4. Even the marking pattern this time is very different from what it used to be all these years. 4 plus 4, 8 marks. Then we have question 3. Please, my dear friends, please look at the division of marks that we have over here. 2 questions from Ecos, and that is 4 plus 4 again, 8 marks. Compulsory, all. Then we have question 4 over here. You can see 2 questions from the Ecos, and that again is 4 plus 4. And from Reverie, of course, they have just 1 question, which again will be 4 plus 4. That means altogether 4 into 2, and that is 8 questions altogether, but all questions compulsory. They must mark the question accordingly. And as far as possible, write both the questions in one place as far as possible. The maximum effort should be to put both the questions of the same part in one place. The focus should be on that under exceptional conditions, obviously. We will see to it. But children should be trained to write both the answers in one place to avoid any kind of difficulty. Yes, the next one.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows three-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Let's look at the MCQ kind of question that should be there. There will be, as it is, we have been repeating 8 marks. There will be only 1 mark. MCQs, all 8 marks. It is going to be a mixed bag of questions from all chapters in the syllabus with no particular pattern. No particular pattern. Please do not emphasize that it's going to be only from short story, only from poem, only from this. No, no, no. It can be a mixed bag of questions from all chapters in the syllabus with no particular pattern. Please impress upon our children this particular thing. It is preferred that the student should use the method of elimination to crack these questions. This is just in order to train them over here. It is preferred that the students, they should read all 4 options. I think you also have been training, and I'm just telling you as a reminder, they must read all the 4 options. As an experience also, you might have noticed sometimes children get very, very excited with the very first option that they think is correct, and they tick, and then later on, possibly, if at all, they do come across, then again they have to either erase it or cut it, or maybe they don't even realize till the exam gets over. Only when they come out, they realize that they have made this mistake. So we must, once again, keep telling them that they must read all the 4 options and only then should they decide. This is always better for, to be on the safer side. So it is preferred that the student should use the method of elimination to crack these questions. Children must read the questions and the options very carefully, and all the 4 options, I repeat. All the 4 options, despite the fact that they know that the first answer is correct, they must read all the 4 questions. Moving on to section B, all questions compulsory. Again, all questions compulsory. Each question will carry 4 marks. Unlike the previous years where questions were split into 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, this time both the questions will be of 4 marks from every question. Each question carries 4 marks, and the maximum word that we should suggest, they shouldn't go beyond 100 to 120 words. 100 to 120 words. That means they should start practicing. They still have time. They should limit their words to 100 to 120 words. A word or 2 extra, less or more, is understandable, but they must always contain their answer within this limit, lest they should be losing out their time in the latter part of the text, latter part of the exam. So 100 to 120 words. I repeat and I request my friends, once again, please make them write and write and write and do a lot of writing practice. Sometimes they go in the flow and they end up writing 200, 250 words and they realize that they have lost time. So this is very important. This is the point that ought to be paid a lot of attention. 100 to 120 words. Please see that they learn to answer and they should incorporate all valid points within that word limit, 100 to 120 words. Moving on to the next part. So these few things are very, very important. We have to keep telling them that they must know to limit the words, and within that limit, they should be able to put the points in. Because the examiner, many of you might be examiner, I'm also an examiner. If the examiner feels that the answer is going a bit too long and the points haven't yet come, the children are most likely to lose marks. So please train them from the examiner's point of view that within 120 words, they must contain all the valid points that are needed for an answer. Moving on. Of course, we have the specimen paper over here. This was the paper that was released by the council. And we have also, at Goel Brothers, we have provided you with the specimen answer also. So possibly we will be providing you with the ebook also. And we have the flip book also. So you can see and turn over. The specimen paper is here, and we have also provided you with the answer. So you will get it in our in the specimen answers that we shall be sending Our company Goel Brothers will be sending that to you. So that is just for you for a reference. And then we have also introduced 10 solved papers and 5 unsolved papers, which we shall be showing you. So that should possibly come handy to you in deciding as to what exactly should be the content and the length of the answer. So this is one that we have introduced. This is the very first one in the entire text. And fortunately, it becomes easy for me to say because I have been the author. So I can convince you that the pattern of answer should be in accordance with what we have introduced in our specimen book paper. Yes, the next one. Now we come to possibly one of the most vital points, and that is how exactly should students maneuver through the paper. 90 minutes, 40 per marks, and 8 questions, long answer questions to attempt, and 8 MCQs to attempt. The students must utilize their time, reading time to the fullest. Yes. That 15 minutes is very, very valid for very substantial for children to use it very effectively. The students must utilize reading time to the fullest and read every question. And it's specifically, I've written twice. Every question twice before attempting. Number 2, the students should make the decisions on the questions one is going to attempt during the reading time. That reading time is actually, we call it as the cool-off time. They should, settle with all the anxiety that they've had before entering into the examination hall, and they should think with a very clear and a very cool mind. He should be able to make decisions regarding the question and how exactly he's going to attempt, what should be the points that should be included. When writing, the students must remain calm. No wonder I prefer to call it a cool-off time. They are expected to remain calm, and yes, they must write neatly. Especially in the last 2 years of Corona, one thing that has come to the fore is
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Duty and avail your courses at affordable prices.
That our children are losing out on the writing front. So I request my fellow teachers to make sure that these children write, and they write very calmly and they write very neatly. They still have time. And they can still practice a lot of writing, and a lot of neatness is to be maintained. It's an art subject where, clear handwriting, every alphabet has to be cleared before the examiner. The students must check their paper many times to look for grammatical mistakes, yes, logical fallacies, of course, punctuations, prepositions, whether they have done the T properly, whether they have dotted their I properly, whether the capital alphabets have been taken care of. They shouldn't have unduly inserted a capital letter in between the sentences. These are the minor things that they must start practicing right now, so as to avoid making similar mistakes during the exams. And they can, of course, use the flow chart shown in the following slide to manage their time. We have introduced a flow chart, and possibly it will come handy to you. Once again, you can show it to the children also on the board, so that children can, they should be able to equate their time accordingly. Yes.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows three-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
This flowchart should be handy to you. So just tell them equally, like there are altogether 8 questions for MCQ. They shouldn't devote more than 2 to 3 to 4 minutes for MCQs. That leaves them with almost 82, 83, 84 minutes. And that's how they should divide. 4 questions, 4 into 8. 4 into 8, 100 words, 120 words. Make them write the equation properly. What I would suggest is for 100 and 120 words, every time a child writes and counts, it makes them lose a lot of time. So a child can by and large have an idea as to how many words or how many lines the child would be needing in order to write 100 words. And that will come by sheer practice. This is a personal suggestion I'm making, that will come by sheer practice. They should be able to know as to how many words are needed for one line or how many words should he be able to accommodate in one line, and accordingly he should decide the length of the answer, rather than many a time children spending a lot of time on every time they write half an answer, they count the number of words. And then they finish the answer, they count the number of words. That doesn't really work for a 90-minute exam. So they should be able to equate every 100 words. They should be able to finish it. 8 questions are there altogether. They have 80 minutes. So within 10 minutes, they should finish one question. 100 words, 10 minutes, simple equation. 100 words, 10 minutes, simple equation they should be. So within 10 minutes, they should be able to finish one question. That means the entire question, that is 5 plus 5, they shouldn't take more than 18 to 20 minutes. Please start making them practice this. Even less is even better, but maximum they should take is 18 to 20 minutes to finish one question. And that should enable them to finish the entire paper in 80 minutes and MCQ 4 minutes. They get 5 minutes for revision, 10 minutes for revision. This is very important. I'm telling you as an examiner, I'm telling you as a teacher, and by virtue of my experience, I'm telling you, constantly we have to make our children work on this thing, that they should be able to finish a 100-word answer in 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. If there are any questions, we are open to it. We are open. Let us discuss. We have the time. Yes, Jitin, let us give them a thank you. Let's roll over. Yes. How are we preparing the sentence? The children over here. Students should read the text once again. Please make them read over and over again. I've been telling you, let's recap the points. They must always decide between the time, the length, and the questions they are going to attempt. Let them not waste the first 15 minutes constantly. Let them not waste those 15 minutes just wondering, looking here and there. And they should be totally focused, even though it is not a writing time, but they have to create a mind map of what exactly they are going to, how they are going to maneuver and all that. So these are very important things. Yes. Can we have the questions? Yeah, we'll provide you with the flowchart. I'll be sending you the PPT also if possible, and I'll provide you the flowchart also. Yes. Yes, Ankita. Jitin, can we unmute Ankita, ma'am? She would like to ask a question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Ankita.
Actually, I just want to ask that is it necessary, or is it so that the students who use the language of textbooks are benefited more?
I think that's a kind of a misnomer, isn't it? But yeah, using the text, exactly the word from the text, I think it's not advisable also and not practical also, as far as I think. So obviously literature allows them to, substantiate their thoughts and put them in their own language, which is quite preferable.
Okay, ma'am.
Right?
Okay.
They may use some keywords. Yes, they may use some keywords.
Example. Okay, just an example I want to say that like for example in B. Wordsworth, the narration is there, some adjectives are used in the text. So the same adjectives needed to be used by the students, or they
It's
use
preferable
any-
because, okay, as a teacher, I would tell you, and as a guardian, I would tell you, if our children read the entire thing over and over again, I'm sure these adjectives are going to settle in their minds, and they should be able to write these answers. So an adjective here and there from the text is definitely very convincing for the examiner.
Exactly. The same thing I recommend to my students.
But
Okay.
it is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. Yes,
But
we have.
I tell them the same thing to read the text over and over again, so
Yes,
that they
that's very
can learn
important.
few of the important words, at
Hmm.
least not whole text, but some important lines I suggest them to
True,
learn
true.
as it is.
True.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have one more doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
How can we avoid mistakes while writing our answers?
Can you be very particular, Mampi ma'am? Can you be very particular about what kind of answer? Who am I talking to, by the way?
The previous, this is Vishali. The previous doubt was from Mr. Batul, and
Okay.
now this is from Miss Mumpy
Okay,
regarding
yes.
is paragraphing necessary? There are two doubts.
Yes, Mampi ma'am. Yes. Could you please repeat your question?
Is paragraphing necessary?
See, once again, let's look at it from the examiner point of view. The council does not make it mandatory for paragraphing and all that. But from the examiner point of view, since fortunately I am one of them, supposing it's a 5 marks question, let's be very honest and very clear. And because right now the focus is on how exactly to make our children fetch marks, right? Right? So what I would suggest is that supposing the answer becomes like if it is 100 words and the writer and the child wants to make the points very, very clear, they should not write a bullet point and then expand. But if at all they divide it in paragraph, I am telling you from an examiner's point of view, it becomes very impressive. It becomes impressive. It does become impressive. You got my point?
There is one more doubt. Yes,
Yeah.
she has replied. Thank you. Also, there is one more doubt from Mr. Batul. How can we avoid mistakes while writing our answers?
What kind of mistakes? Can you be specific with some mistakes?
Mr. Batul, can you please be specific a little?
Yeah.
Ma'am is asking a little bit, being more specific.
Yeah.
And can we ask one new?
What kind of mistake? Then maybe we can discuss right here on the platform.
Let me unmute him so that he can talk.
Ma'am, capital letters. They make mistakes. Yes.
Yeah,
ma'am.
so that will come only by virtue of constant practice. Let me tell you very honestly.
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
that is understandable, isn't it?
Yes.
The child must be then and there corrected.
Yes, ma'am.
Then and
Thank
there,
you.
when the child is making the mistake, must be then and there
Yes.
corrected, isn't it?
Thank you.
So
Thank
not
you.
I and you, but together we can
Punctuation.
make the child do it right then and there.
Okay. Then the next question is
Yeah.
quotes to be included in the answers like this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting it. Vishali, I can see that. Batul ma'am is up. Yes. Quotes, no. I'll tell you one thing once again. As far as poetry is concerned, if at all they are attempting an answer, I don't know if you people have done it, but I'm here at St. Joseph's Convent and I make it, as a part of my oral assessment. This is just a suggestion, not at all mandatory for anybody. For a part of my oral assessment, I make my children learn the poems. I'll tell you. Suggestion again, not at all compulsory. Suggestion again. So if at all they learn it, like I can't tell you to make them do it right now. If they do it, very good, nothing like it. But if at all they don't, quoting expressions, quoting text, even if it is not the entire thing, just a section of the text definitely adds to the impression. Definitely adds to the, it convinces the examiner better. But not too many. I've had experiences wherein I've seen that in some schools and all that I've received papers where, like when we shall discuss language, we will see to that. Children have just written the entire poem. You getting my point? No, that doesn't really work. If at all a particular line or a particular section from a particular stanza is needed, very good, nothing like it. But it is definitely not at all mandatory once again. But it is desirable. It is desirable. It is expected. If they write it, it definitely adds to the impression. Thank you, Malika. Paragraphing, no, as I told you, make it only when it is needed. Quotes are, of course, if they at all they are needed and they are in reference, of course, it is once again desirable. Do we need to make our answers short? See, I think we have already talked about it. This is from Batul. Yes. As we just discussed right now, that answers should be 100 to 120 words, isn't it? So don't elaborate it unnecessarily, because you know what the result will be. In the process of elaborating the answer, the child could be losing out on time, which he or she would be needing for the other questions. So that's nice. Well,
Ma'am, are they marked according to the number of points they write?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be very, very explicit about this thing. They are marked according to the number of points. Yes.
So
Yes.
how many points should they write, ma'am?
Preferably, I'll tell you, because when we get, if I don't know if you have an idea, when we get the answer sheet, we have, good number of points that have been given, and then we are expected that the child is, like supposing it is 5 marks. So it is naturally expected that the right child should preferably write, if at all there are possible 5 points, he should be able to incorporate those 5 points.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So the maximum is the
Five
better.
adjectives are there. That is why reading the text is very important.
Yes, ma'am.
Reading
Thank
the
you,
text. Priyanshu has a question. Ma'am, do we need to learn? Priyanshu, could you repeat? Any character sketch questions? Yes, of course. Shuja, we have character-based questions. Yes, you could be given an extract and then you could be asked, what character of XYZ comes to the fore through these lines? This is understandable. Yes. Yes, Shuja? Character-based questions are almost a compulsory kind of a thing. You can understand that. Any other question? Do we need to learn setting themes, aptness of title? And yes. Yes, Priyanshu. Yes, you could be asked a question, justify the title of the text. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Justify the title or justify anything. Yes. Any more questions?
Ma'am, how about the literary devices?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank
Who is
you,
asking?
ma'am.
Who is asking?
Hyacinth.
Okay. Literary devices that can come for MCQ also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
That can
ma'am.
come for, of course, you could be like, what is the literary device in line 4? What is the literary device in line 1?
Okay, ma'am. Because last time, the previous
Yeah.
MCQs, we had no literary devices at all.
That's a chance. That's sheer
Yes.
chance.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes. And I must tell you that possibly there can, even in the 5 marks question, let us not rule out the possibility of a question based on the important literary devices.
Okay,
Let
ma'am.
us not
Thank you.
rule out. Let us not rule out this possibility.
Okay, so there's a
Especially with-
possibility.
Very much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And then we have, thank you. We have a question. No bullet points, please. No bullet points. Bullet points should be absolutely avoided. Any further question? No bullet points for literature. Please, if at all they have to write in points, they should make it into paragraph rather than making it into making it like language. Possibly when they will write, when we discuss, we will talk about it, but not right now. Any more questions?
I guess that's all, ma'am. Everyone, you have
Let
answered
us-
all the queries.
Let us for the last time see anybody wanting another question, or before we can.
Okay, ma'am, just last question. You
No,
are saying
go ahead. No issues.
no bullet points for ISC, so same applies for ICSE also?
Could you repeat?
I'm saying for ISC, you said that no bulleting should be there, but
Yes.
in few of the books, we have seen the previous year answer sheet of the students in ICSE I'm talking about. So they have marked with bullets, and we also suggest our students to mark with bullets. So is it
No.
wrong?
No. Let me tell you very honestly, and I'll be very honest, for literature, whether it is, I'm not supposed to deal with ICSE right now, but still I'll tell you, with literature, we are not supposed to.
Okay, ma'am. So
No,
they can
no.
change the line and no bulleting.
They should change the line, they can change the paragraph, but no bullet points, please. Please,
Okay,
they
thank
shouldn't make an asterisk or a bullet or any symbol as such. No.
Okay, ma'am.
That we can discuss when we are discussing language in case, but right now literature, a complete no.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
If you have any suggestion for anything, then we have given you the ID is there, so you can always send in your queries and we will always be available for the same. And I think I should extend my thank you to you.
All of you, I have sent a WhatsApp group that is created for all the class 12 teachers for ISC board. So you can join the group for all the updates and all the queries. The PDF of the book will be mailed to you. It has the PPT has been sent here only. I have also sent a link over here in the chat box from where the students and anyone who wants to purchase any book, they can purchase the same book. Also, I have shared the email ID over here. So thank you for participating in the webinar. We hope you enjoyed the webinar with some useful takeaways. We would like to hear back from you. Kindly share your feedback or suggestions via email ID, that is marketing@goel-books.com. I am again writing the email ID in the chat box. Also, if you want to conduct a similar kind of or any other kind of webinar for your organization, you can write us on the same email ID. As well as if you're looking for any opportunity to work with us in any capacity, like an author, resource person, subject expert, editor, reviewer, etc. Again, you can share your email IDs at marketing@goel-books.com. So I have sent all the details in the chat box for the same. And thank you very much, everyone.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.